Well, hello, welcome back. Today is going to be a day of dismantling a barbed wire fence for me, but I thought I'd show you guys a couple of things that you may not know, and that's how to, number one, roll up used barbed wire, and number two, how to take a T-post out of the ground easily with just a post pounder. I'll show you that in a little bit. Some of the things you need, two things you need. One of these fencing pliers. This thing is universal. You have to have one of these. It makes life so much easier. Number two, leather gloves. If you want to try this without leather gloves, go right ahead. So to start with, I'm going to show you how to roll up a line of used barbed wire. I just took it off the fence post, laid it on my lawn. I have my lawn, fortunately, right along this fence, so it's going to work pretty well. So let's get started. All right, so this is the end that was around the end post. Just going to straighten it just a little bit. And what you want to do is create, there's a little add-on piece of wire right here, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to show, but you take it and you create a circle. I like to make it about 2.5 or so feet from the ground, just about up to your waist. And I'll tell you why in a minute. You take the end, wrap it around just a few times just so it catches. Then you take this, set it on the ground, so here we are looking down at it. So you set it down on the ground, got the piece of barbed wire going here, and what you do is when you roll it, you crisscross over the line that goes all the way down there. You just roll it and crisscross. Go this way over it, this way over it. So you're going to go over it this way, kind of weave back and forth, rolling it over the top of it. And what that does, it kind of interlocks it to itself. So as you're going along, you won't have a loop of it just fall off to the side or one way or other. Sometimes if you don't do it right, you have 2 or 3 loops falling off the side and you're constantly trying to have to grab them together. But by interlocking it, rolling it back and forth, it helps reduce that quite a bit. So this is the reason why I like to have a larger loop than normal, is so I can more comfortably stand up and do this. If you have a smaller loop, you're bending over rolling it the whole time. And I prefer not to do that. A lot of people do it that way and they're just hurting their backs, I guess. There's not much other reason why you can't make a bigger loop. Plus, it goes a little faster because you got a bigger wheel turning. You can cover more ground with each turn, with each rotation. So I'm just crossing the line back and forth and back and forth. This isn't always perfect. Once in a while you get a straggler, a loop that wants to fall over. But for the most part, this is the way you do it. The little barbs on the barbed wire catch on themselves. Just about to the end. As you can see, it's holding up pretty well. And when you get to the end, you just take this loop, do a couple of wraps around what you have. That just kind of helps keep it all together. And there you go. One solid roll. And now if you ever want to reuse this wire again, you just undo this and just gonna roll it right along. It's ready to apply again. It's really nice to do that. This stuff is some older wire. I'm going to pass it along to the next person, and I really don't care what they do with it, but there's that. I'm going to show you real quick how to take the T-post clip off the barbed wire. This is what the clip looks like on the barbed wire where it attaches to the T-post. This one's been here for 20 years. A little over 20 years. So you take your fencing pliers. First you take this little tab right here with the tips of the pliers, and you just bend it up, kind of opening up that gap right there. Then on the other side there's usually a little loop, and you can clip it on there, and you see how the fencing pliers, the tip wraps right around that. It gets a good grip. Get a grip on that, and then just bend it up and over. And that loosens it up to the point where you can take the wire off that, bring this around here, and that's your clip, and it's off the post. So for removing this T-post, like I said, we're going to use this T-post driver. I'll show you. So I've got the wires kind of laying at the base of this post for right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to use these nipples on this side of the T-post. We're going to take the driver, plant it about 7-8 inches away from the base, and you're going to lean it into the post. So now what you do is you just lean the post back until the driver clicks underneath one of those nipples. Then you just pull back into the post driver. And that leverage pulls the post up out of the ground. Then you just lean it back and click it again, pull back, repeat. So I got one hand on top of the post, one hand down here, so I don't even really have to muscle it hardly at all. And it's easy as that. Got the post out. This is really nice. A lot less effort than muscling them out by the old-fashioned way.